Have you ever wondered what happens when a star becomes a myth? Somewhere between fame and infamy, there's Johnny Depp, a man who became both a prisoner and a poet in the chaotic world of Hollywood. Born on June 9th, 1963, in a small town in Kentucky, John Christopher Depp II didn't have an easy start. His family was always on the move, relocating over 20 times before he turned 15. Home wasn't a sanctuary, it was a storm of constant arguments and instability. When his parents finally divorced, a teenage Johnny was left adrift. His mother sank into a deep depression, and he found his only escape in the raw, honest sound of a guitar. At just 16, he dropped out of school, chasing a rock and roll dream, not for fame, but for a sense of freedom. He was broke, sleeping on friends' couches, playing in small bars, surviving day by day. But destiny had a different script written for him. When his band moved to Los Angeles, a chance meeting with Nicolas Cage changed everything. Cage saw something unique in the quiet, shy guitarist. He told him, "You should try acting. You've got a face that tells stories." Depp, full of doubt, reluctantly went to an audition. And just like that, his life was flipped upside down. In 1984, he landed his first role in A Nightmare on Elm Street. On screen, he was dramatically pulled into a bed by Freddy Krueger, but in real life, a Hollywood star was being born. Then came 21 Jump Street. The show catapulted him into teen heartthrob status. Suddenly, millions of fans were screaming his name, and his posters adorned bedroom walls across the globe. But Johnny hated it. He never wanted to be just a pretty face. He yearned to be an artist. So, he did the unthinkable. At the peak of his fame, he walked away. That bold decision defined the rest of his career. He found a creative soulmate in director Tim Burton, a man as eccentric and misunderstood as he was. Together, they brought Edward Scissorhands to life. This wasn't just a movie, it was Johnny's soul laid bare on screen. Gentle, broken, and beautifully strange. The character who couldn't touch without causing pain mirrored Johnny's own feeling of not belonging. This partnership sparked a series of unforgettable roles that defined a generation. Edward, Ichabod Crane, Donnie Brasco. Each character was a canvas for his chaos, his humor, and his quiet pain. Then, in 2003, he breathed life into one of cinema's most iconic figures, Captain Jack Sparrow. At first, Disney executives were baffled. They thought his performance was unstable, even unhinged. But audiences around the world fell in love with the quirky, charismatic pirate. The Pirates of the Caribbean saga made Johnny Depp one of the highest paid actors in history, earning him over $300 million. But behind the mischievous grin and smudged eyeliner, a darkness was growing. He became increasingly isolated, lost in a whirlwind of fame, alcohol, and heartbreak. His high-profile relationships, from Winona Ryder to Vanessa Paradis, were passionate but turbulent. With Vanessa, he found a temporary peace. They had 2 children, Lily Rose and Jack, and for 14 years, they built a quiet life far from the glare of Hollywood. But fame is a relentless beast. Then came the storm that nearly destroyed him, his public and painful marriage to Amber Heard. What began as a whirlwind romance descended into a toxic, explosive battle. In 2016, she accused him of abuse. Overnight, Johnny Depp, one of the most beloved actors on the planet, became a Hollywood outcast. He lost roles, he lost friends, he lost his footing. Disney dropped him from the franchise he had built. He remained silent at first, but in the court of public opinion, silence is often mistaken for guilt. Years later, in 2022, the courtroom became his stage once more. The Depp versus Heard trial was more than a defamation case. It was a fight for his identity, his dignity, and his truth. The world watched, transfixed, as every raw, painful detail was broadcast live. For many, it was just another piece of celebrity drama. But for Johnny, it was a battle for survival. When the verdict finally came, he won. Not just legally, but emotionally. He had cleared his name. Yet, as he later reflected, "I didn't get my life back. I just learned to live with the scars." In the aftermath, Johnny retreated from Hollywood's spotlight. He returned to his first loves, painting and music, the 2 things that had never betrayed him. He joined his friend Jeff Beck on tour, see you in the next one.